The Civil War was the most drastic war fought on American soil, and it took the lives of many soldiers. The war lasted from 1861 to 1865, and it was a war fought between the Union and the Confederacy. It was an extremely bloody war which no one wanted. It was mainly fought due to the issues upon slavery expanding into the Western territories. There are many other reasons which played a big factor in the start of the Civil War. I believe that if these events had never occurred, the Civil War would have never started. The first reason which caused the Civil War was the event of Bleeding Kansas and John Brown of 1856. This event greatly affected our nation by creating tensions. John Brown was a martyr who strongly despised slavery and took matters into his own hands. His actions created many different views upon people. The Northerners realized that slavery was cruel and decided to protest against it. The Southerners were surprised that the North had allowed John Brown's actions to occur, so they were very disappointed. This caused more tensions between the South and the North. Bleeding Kansas also drew a lot of attention with violence. These two major events were a big factor in the start of the Civil War. The second reason which caused the Civil War was the election of Abraham Lincoln in 1860. Since Abraham Lincoln was against slavery, Southerners were very disappointed because they wanted a pro-slavery president. The election of Abraham Lincoln caused a lot of commotion throughout the nation. Many states wanted to secede because they feared that President Lincoln would abolish slavery and ruin the South's economy. The South's actions created issues among the nation. The election of 1860 was a huge factor in the start of the war, and so was the South's idea of seceding. The third and final reason which caused the Civil War was the secession of South Carolina. The secession of South Carolina was the biggest factor in the start of the Civil War. South Carolina seceded from the North in 1860, which caused the other states to secede as well. The South's actions caused a great conflict, and the North was very surprised by the Southern states' decisions. Lincoln wanted to bring the nation back together without violence, but had no choice when the Confederate troops launched an attack on Fort Sumter. South Carolina's act of seceding played a major role in the start of the Civil War. In conclusion, Bleeding Kansas and John Brown of 1856, the election of 1860, and South Carolina's secession of 1860 were all major factors to the start of the Civil War. No one would know for sure if the Civil War would have never started if these events had never occurred. Although these events are important to the history of the United States, and the Civil War is a big reason why our nation is so strong and powerful today. Without these events, we will never know what our country would be like. People learn from their mistakes, and so did the United States of America.